Thank you everyone for making the time to come here. Thanks, Mike. We have the pleasure of having Professor Fabian visiting us from Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. He's a very well-known scientist with many deep fundamental contributions to different aspects of research in transportation. He has many also students having around the world in mainland China, Hong Kong, Singapore. So his legacy is really deep in transportation research. Almost when we talk with everyone talked very highly about the time that he was the editor-in-chief of Party in terms of being open to different disciplines, different parts of transportation, fast, fair, and giving good opportunity for the whole transport program in general. So one of the areas that we have made lots of contribution is ride-hailing services that we have some ongoing research on that topic. So I'm gonna deliver that for us, and it's gonna be 45 minutes, not what we're planning. Okay?
Thank you for your introduction. It's my pleasure to visit here. I happen to see it perhaps, but my first time to visit the university. So my pleasure to share my research on this topic on demand mobility services. I have been working in this area with my students for a few years. Doesn't work. So basically, first I'll give a brief introduction to on-demand ride-hailing market. Just with why this doesn't work. Okay, and then introduce some selected research topics we have worked. And I think everybody has used the Uber, and in Mainland we use Didi. So you have such experience of using on-demand mobility services. So this has appeared for already a few years, and the platform has accumulated a huge amount of data, which is very useful for our research. Research on human mobility analysis, city planning, traffic control, and management. So the problem can be basically described this way. First, we divide the time into discrete time interval for normally say for demand forecasting, like 15 minutes, interval, and divide the space, describe the space. Normally we use a hexagon for demand mobility service, and then use big data. We do analysis, modeling, and decision making. So we have this modeling framework for on-demand mobility services. First, we have the objectives. First, we needed to address the imbalance between demand and supply over time, over space, and of course, enhance market profitability, maximize revenue, and so on. So to achieve the objectives, what the platform can do, they can achieve the objective through, say, pricing of the order, and driver rewarding. How to encourage driver to work for more hours, or go to pick up passenger at some needed location, and order dispatching, order assignment, ride pooling. When you have high demand but limited supply, how to encourage okay, rather poorly, so that you can serve or carry more passengers. So there are two major components in the market: passenger demand and driver supply. First, okay, driver supply depend on the decision making of the platform, such as okay, commission charge, okay, and the wage rate to the driver and the reward scheme. And okay, the passenger demand. Oh, sorry, the passenger demand. First, look at passenger demand side. Passenger demand depends on the passenger attributes and their behaviors, and also depends on the passenger waiting time. But in on-demand mobility market, passenger waiting time can be regarded as a measure of the service quality. So when you buy a mobile phone, you consider the price and the quality. But for on-demand services, okay, normally we consider passenger waiting time as a measure of service quality. And okay, passenger demand also depends on the availability of alternative travel mode, like normal taxi, bus. All right. Driver supply also depends on the driver attributes and their behaviors, and it depends on the driver idle time. Okay, when you work, say, 5 hours, and you have a passenger 3 hours, your utilization rate will be about 60%, right? 3 hours, 2 hours idle time, 3 hours occupied time. So because your income will depend on the utilization rate of your car. And also depend on other job options. You know, I can work on other stuff. Okay. So we have the exogenous variable, the dashed box, and the red part, the variable we call endogenous variable. The endogenous variable interact with each other. For example, okay, driver idle time, which govern the market profitability, your income, and of course influence driver supply. All right, and sorry, driver supply affect the passenger waiting time. If you have more supply, passenger waiting time will decrease, but the passenger waiting time affect the passenger demand. All right, and the passenger demand affect the driver idle time. So they interact with each other, and they drive the market. Okay, this endogenous market force drive the market into static and dynamic equilibrium. So our objective is to determine the optimal, to make the optimal decision making, such as price I just mentioned, to achieve our objective. At the same time, we need to consider the demand supply equilibrium in the market. Okay, here. So under this framework, we have many research topics. Okay, related topic like human mobility analysis. This has been a traditional talk, research conducted okay by researchers in different fields. And spatial temporal forecasting of passenger demand and driver supply using machine learning. And estimate the time of arrival ETA for both pickup and ride trip. Because this is important. Once you receive a ride, you need to estimate the time of arrival immediately, quickly. Because sometimes you need to estimate the fare, the price, and tell the passenger, and the passenger decide whether or not to accept this ride services. And passenger behavior analysis, such as order cancellation. For example, I place an order. I'm waiting for a car to pick up me. Okay, it may take some time. If suddenly a taxi arrive here, maybe I take a taxi instead and cancel my work. And of course, this will cause interruption to the market. And when is to wait passenger, I will talk about, okay, this is probably more details. And the driver behavior analysis, such as income, profitability of working hours, and you know, particularly the elasticity of working hours with respect to income, maybe David Levison, Professor David Levison, this economists look at the problem, but they have different opinions on these issues. They don't have consensus. They think there are two types of drivers or workers. One is profit maximization type of drivers. Okay, the other is income targeted workers or drivers. Profit maximization type of driver means, okay, if I provide a right service, services, and if the market, if it's easier to do business, and you know, if the market is very profitable, then I work for more hours to make more money. The other opinion that the drivers have a targeted income. Say today, if I already earn say $500,000, oh, then that's total working. Okay. They use the New York protected data to look at this problem, but they have diversified the opinion on this. Then you may wonder why on-demand platform like Uber, they also care about this one, because they want to know the type of driver. For example, okay, if this driver is income targeting type, then the platform may give the driver reward. So attract the driver, okay, to work for more hours if needed. So they also care about this problem. Matching and order dispatching, I'll talk about later this, and also allocation of reward resources. You know how to mobilize drivers, okay, to some, you know, location to balance the demand supply equilibrium. And dynamic and surge pricing. Okay, you may, you know, when you place an order, you know, the platform may suddenly increase the price very quickly, sometimes even double. This depends on the, okay, demand supply situations. And drivers don't choice behaviors and the guidance and the repositioning of empty vehicles. This is also a typical problem. You may wonder why some taxi drivers are willing to wait at the airport for 2-3 hours to get a ride. This is the situation in Hong Kong. You know, they wait for 2-3 hours to get a ride. But some other taxi drivers just cross in the downtown area to provide services. This is actually an equilibrium problem of space. Okay. For example, okay, a driver waited at the airport for 2 hours, get a ride, and then take passenger to the destination to 1 more hours. For such a long ride, the drivers earn $300 and spending total 3 hours, which means you earn $100 per hour, right? But if you just close in the downtown area in 3 hours, you may serve multiple rides. Okay, maybe 6 rides, but each ride gets $50. You still earn $300. So basically, you earn more or less the same wage. So this is a spatial this equilibrium over the space. This explains why some taxi drivers are willing to wait at the airport or railway station for such a long time. Of course, waiting at the airport or railway station is purely a waste of resources. Look, this is inefficiency. So this is a don't choice problem. And the option of bundled service of solar and shade light, I will introduce this later. Okay. Incentive mechanism design for on-demand ride pooling to enhance capacity, carry more passengers, serve more passengers, and the platform competition and cooperation. Multi-homing and platform integration. Multi-homing, okay. You can see one driver they put multiple mobile phone, all right, associated with the multiple platform because they wanted to get more the right request quickly. And the platform integration, I will tell you later. And the impact of traffic congestion and transit usage of on-demand mobility. This also, different finding different observations. Okay, the impact of on-demand mobility platform on congestion on transit. And the regulation and policy. So I just mentioned the different research issues in terms of demand, pricing, supply, and incentive, platform operation, competition, impact regulation. So the methodology we often use for such a study, including statistics, econometrics, labor economics, microeconomics, queuing theory, optimization, dynamic programming, game theory, machine learning. So we had this survey article. Now, so next, I briefly introduce some research topics we have tackled. The first one is optimizing match interval and the matching radius. Matching time and matching intervals are to see top level strategic decision variable. Okay, the platform have to determine to make the decision to make. The first one is the matching time interval. So you can use a short time interval and a long time interval for batch matching. This means after this time interval, you make a batch matching, right? Like a DD, actually DD use just 3 second time interval for batch matching. If you use a short time interval like here, then we just have say here 2 idle vehicle, 2 passenger. Then we also have this matching radius. Matching radius means only within such matching radius, passenger and the car can be paired much beyond such matching radius because of the pickup distance will be too long. So it will not be much. So in this case, if the matching interval is too short, we don't have a matching. But if you increase the interval, say from delta T1 to delta T2, say during this longer interval, we accumulate more rider requests and also more idle vehicles. So within the same matching radius, then we can pair passenger, we can have multiple pairs of successful matching, all right, of passenger and drivers. So this is the this is the advantage. Then what's the disadvantage of increasing the interval? If you increase the matching interval, the drivers and the passenger will also need to wait for a longer time, right? Before matching. So it's a trade-off. Okay. Then look at the matching radius. And within this matching radius, like 1 kilometer, so we don't have a successful pair to match. But if we increase the matching radius, double the matching radius, say from 1 kilometer to 2 kilometers, then we have 2 pairs of successful matching. Then, okay. But the disadvantage is that if you increase the matching radius, the pickup distance will also increase. And of course, the two strategic decision variables impact each other. If you use a longer match interval, then we already accumulated more idle vehicle and drivers, you can already do closer matching. In that case, the matching region will become non-binding in effect. Okay, non-binding, inactive. Actually, in like a data platform, in real situation, what they do, they first, okay, once you receive a red request, they search for drivers within 1 kilometer. If no response, then extend it to 2 kilometers. And if still no response, 3 kilometers maximum. We found they did that in such a way from their data. And of course, they don't tell us how they did. Yeah. So this is the problem we consider, but in reality, we don't really need to precisely optimize much interval or much of the. Rather can prepare many, like interval could be 1, 2, 3 activation. The much ratio, much interval could be say 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 50 seconds. Depending on the market situation, depending on the demand and supply, we can choose the best value, right? Tailored for the current market situations. You wonder why okay, this doesn't work. Now, the second research problem, multi-objective, multi-parted online red matching, as your post, right? Bipartite matching. Now, we have this standard bipartite matching. Here we have 2 cars, 3 passengers, all right? Of course, at most we just have 2 pairs of matching, so simple matching. But we have a different objective for matching. One is to minimize the pickup distance, because we have to pick up distance between each pair of car and passenger. So if your objective is to minimize pickup distance, and then you can say we have this matching, this little pair of matching. Or we can choose, okay, to maximize the platform revenue, because for each ride request, we have the value, right? The income. So if your objective is to maximize the revenue, then the matching will be this pair and this pair. So in real, of course you can do multi-objective matching, but the real situation is much more complicated than this one. For example, for passenger, we also have different type of passengers, and this passenger, this one just choose the pooling ride. Maybe he chooses to share ride with someone to get a discount. And this one just choose solo ride, no ride sharing. And this passenger choose bundle options, which means both are okay. It's up to the platform to assign me to a shared ride or solo ride. Okay. And by introducing this choice, you can reduce passenger waiting time, right? Depending on the car availability. So it's more flexible to the matching if the passenger choose both. So we have 3 types of passenger. In terms of car, we have a completely empty car. So this car can share any passenger. And we also have a partially occupied vehicle. See, this car already, the passenger, but this passenger select shared ride. So you can add one more passenger to this car, right? So we have 2 types of car: fully idle vehicle, partially occupied vehicle. Okay. So with multiple parted matching, okay, in terms of both the passenger and the car, okay, we have multiple types. of passenger and the car. And the matching outcome, we could have multiple different matching outcome. And this is, one scenario. Okay, what passengers are matched, are assigned car. This is another situation. This is for the blue matching. This is matching result highlighted in red color, but the two outcome different. Because for this matching outcome, we can solve one more passenger in next batch of matching, because this car just carry one weather pooling passenger. So in next matching, we can add one more drivers. So we have, if you want to maximize the capacity, serve the capacity, then you should choose this car, this outcome. But for this outcome matching of matching, all vehicles are fully occupied. Okay. So different matching method resulting in different outcome. The next topic, integrated surge pricing and rewarding scheme. Typically, platform you use two parts. Okay, surge charge, particularly during peak hour, and they apply for a normal basic charge. Okay, but when the demand is high and the supply is limited, they introduce surge price. Suppose, but if the surge price is too high, this may cause some social problem. Okay, there's some complaint from the passenger. Then the government may take some action, introduce some regulation. It will cause some problem. This happen. Okay. In the mainland China, initially we have severe competition. Okay, when Didi take over Uber and Kuaidi become monopoly, they just arbitrarily increase the price and get a lot of complaints and also cause a lot of social problem. So suppose to address this problem, okay, with high demand, limited supply, and also avoid the arbitrarily charge passenger, we introduce this integrated surge pricing and rewarding scheme. Suppose during the peak hour, this $20 is a normal surge price. Normally, this go to drivers, okay, the surge price. And this is the acceptable price to both passenger and drivers, because when the demand is high, indeed, you need to balance the supply, you need to introduce appropriate surge price. But the problem is that if you already paid this, okay, $20 surge price, it's still difficult to get a ride, okay, get a car, because the queue could be very long. But in this situation, if you are willing to top up $20 more, then the platform will give you priority, okay, dispatch a car to serve you. But in order to avoid the problem, arbitrarily charge the passenger, we suppose this additional $20 you added is still your own money, okay? It doesn't go to the platform, doesn't go to the driver. And this additional $20 is saved into your designated account. You have account with your mobile account, in the account. But of course, you cannot use this money for shopping for food. Okay. Now, only during the off-peak hour, if you still use myself, then you can get back your money saved in your account. Okay. So during the off-peak hours, suppose a ride still, okay, the fare is still $50 charge, okay, for the off-peak hour, and suppose this is $20. Okay. Let's connect. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now, during the out-peak hour, if you still use my service, okay, you can get a back of $3 saved in your account. Then you actually pay just for $30, right? So in this way, we can create a one situation. Why? You know, for the passenger, they didn't actually pay more, but they get the oriented services during the peak hour, all right? Plus give you priority, okay, to dispatch a car from. For the platform, and they keep you to use the service was still the passenger during the off-peak hour. Anyway, in the off-peak hour, during the off-peak hour, I have sufficient supply, right? I just but we don't have sufficient demand. Then this means during the off-peak hour, the platform can do more business. They can have more commission charge and therefore increase their income. But for the of course, for the driver, they also benefit because the driver can increase car utilization rate or solve more right during the off-peak hour. You can also earn more. Right. The next research question is competition and third-party platform integration. We're still working on this problem. We already had to. Okay, I think this I didn't integrate. This already published, I think. If you try the platform, but sorry, this is Chinese, okay? No, this is not okay. This the how to say? The platform integration means a transportation service providers in mainland. We have a Baidu, we have a Gaode. You know, in here you have Google, right? You know, provide the navigation guidance services. Such, okay, road guidance navigation system. Okay, they integrate the ride services offered by multiple independent ride sourcing platform. And then passenger can send a ride request through such a third-party integrator. They don't have their car, okay, they just provide such services. And you know, and then they were, you know, the passenger can receive services from any one of the platform, whichever respond first. I'm not sure you get my point. So this is the, actually this is Gaode platform. Gaode is one of the two major navigation service providers. They can easily, okay, do the on-demand mobility service. So if you turn on the app, they have multiple ride for the platform. Okay, you can make your choice. They integrate. You know, in the past, in the early time, without the integration, you try this platform, if no response, you change it to another app, to another platform, which is inconvenient, right? But here, with such integrated platform, then you can choose all or choose some, depending on your preference. Then you get a quicker response, okay, for your request. So we call this platform integration, third-party integrator. So the integrator, you know, if you have such a type of integrator, you should have, right?
Is it me?
Yeah, city or
For ride hailing, I don't think so. Yeah.
just a completely independent platform operated providing services. So you may wonder what are the benefits of platform integration in ride sourcing platform? Why such integrator to survive in the market? Why? You know, such the platform, ride sourcing platform are willing to join the integrator. What's the problem it may cause? So this is what we wanted to answer. First, okay, you should understand in the traditional taxi market, what they call an on-demand mobility market. And we have the margin friction between the passenger and the drivers. This margin friction in general, okay, exhibit increasing return to scale. This means margin will become more efficient as more passengers and drivers are involved in one platform and to generate a bigger or thicker market. This you can understand. Say, I have two platforms, A and B. If I just use the platform A, there's no vehicle nearby around me, okay? But maybe there's a vehicle just beside me, but that vehicle is affiliated with the platform B, all right? So, but if you just use platform A, no match. But if you have an integrator, both platform A and platform B are integrated into the integrator. Of course, you can match with this car, right? So this is the matching frequency. So this means it's a more passenger and the drivers are okay in the same platform integrator. You can do closer, more efficient matching. So this we call increasing return to scale.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I understand why it's good for customers, and I understand why it's good for the integrator, but I don't understand why it's good for D-Day, because it seems like they will lose a lot of profits.
Yeah, this is really good question. Just wait a minute. Okay, you have like you can see like okay. Inside you can just wait. Okay, interesting question. So this means platform integration can alleviate the cost of market fragmentation due to demand splitting among multiple platforms. Okay, but under the integrated platform, the good thing is that all the platform still maintain market competition. Okay, they still operate independently, like their pricing, okay, their pricing setting. So this will prevent charging a higher monopoly price. Our finding, okay, through our not real data, because we difficult to get real data, okay, because you need to get the multiple platform data, so difficult. But from our simulation study, we have the following finding: platform integration can increase the total demand and the social welfare, which is okay good to the passenger and the social welfare, but may not necessarily generate a greater total profit. Just David mentioned. Platform integration can boost the profit of a small platform when the overall supply is not very large, but it may hurt the profit of a bigger platform when the supply is sufficiently large. So this means platform integration doesn't necessarily benefit the larger platform. They really is simple. Because like Didi is already large enough. Didi already enjoyed the economy of scale, okay? Because they were big enough. All right. So if they still join the integrator, they didn't benefit. They actually sometimes lose money. That's the pretty risk. But the question is not so simple. The problem is that the bigger platform face a dilemma. So I just mentioned, if the bigger platform joins the integrator, they actually have the smaller platform to make money together, all right, to enjoy the economy of scale together, but they must suffer. But if you don't join the platform, if the bigger platform doesn't join the integrator, you will face such dilemma. What's the dilemma? Because the other small platform, they join the integrator, and they go together to compete. All right. So that's the problem. You get my point? All right, there are some small platform, all join the like Baidu, Gaode, and they form a bigger one, right? Yeah, and then if DD doesn't join, then actually the computer will be shut. But if the big one join the integrator, you are actually helping the smaller one. So what happened in reality then? And DD initially actually joined the integrator. Okay, Baidu and Gaode. But later they disconnected. Okay, with the Baidu, Gaode, and they formed their own integrated services. This means DD is a bigger, okay, a web sourcing service provider, and they also accepted a number of smaller platforms in their platform, into their smaller company, okay, smaller web sourcing company to join their platform, okay, to improve their size. And also Huawei also entered the on-demand mobility market. They also provide the integrated platform services. So, before appearance of integrator, we have many smaller web sourcing companies that compete each other. Now we also have multiple integrators. Now we also have competition between integrators, different levels of competition. All right. And the next one is customers willingness to wait with cycle waiting time. We use Uber, use Didi in Australia. I also tried Didi. Okay, Didi International. You will have the information how many passengers are waiting in front of you. Okay, the current waiting time. So when you turn on app, when you see such information, okay, you have to make a decision. You join the queue and wait, or just simply leave. All right. And but if you choose to join the queue, because the platform didn't dispatch assign customer, you can still cancel the order without any time, right? Because you just you're in the queue, no kind of assigned to you, so you can come to cancel. But of course, once a car is assigned to you and on the way to pick up you, in that case you will cancel your order. You will have a penalty. Then we have this problem. Okay. Suppose this is the actual clock time. And now this is reference time. Suppose you turn on app and you see the waiting time information. The platform tell you the current waiting time is 20 minutes. And you have to make a decision, either wait or just exit. Okay. Now, because the system updates the waiting time information in real time, depending on the demand supply, depending on the traffic condition. Suppose after 10 minutes of waiting, the platform updates the waiting time information and tell you now your remaining waiting time is 8 minutes. Then, if you are a rational party, you should keep waiting, right? Because the situation become better. You're waiting for 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes, right? After 10 minutes waiting, the waiting time just become shorter than expected initially. So the situation become better. So you normally should keep waiting. And if you left initially, this means your maximum willing to wait is less than 20 minutes. So it's out of question. But the problem is that suppose after 10 minutes, the system updates the waiting time information and tell you the current waiting time is 50 minutes. This means they say the issue become worse than the beginning, right? because after 10 minutes waiting, you expect the waiting time should be 10 minutes, but not 15 minutes. Then how can you, how do you do? Right? It may be easy for you to make a decision. If I create, I already waited for 10 minutes. If I continue to wait, I'm not sure how many more minutes I need to wait. Currently, it becomes 15 minutes. So you may face such a difficulty in making a decision. So that's the problem want to model. We have the real data. Okay. How the passenger abound the queue and how many are solved and how much time to wait. So this means this problem, passengers willing to wait with the sample waiting time. Okay, the sample waiting time here is 10 minutes. You already waited for 10 minutes. And after we have the new waiting time information, you have to decide whether or not to wait or exit. Okay. How many more minutes?
Maybe 2, 3.
Okay. Okay, bundled service. I already mentioned. Passenger can choose shared ride. Actually, passenger choose solo ride, non-shared ride. Passenger can choose both. Then this means the platform can assign this type of passenger either to this queue or this queue. And the driver, and okay, if for I completed an empty vehicle, you can assign vehicle to this to solve this queue or this queue. Hold on, okay. But if it's a partially occupied vehicle, and you have to assign to this. So our problem is that with this queuing system, how to allocate the passenger, choose the bundle to this one and this one. We have a demand allocation. We also have the resource allocation, how to assign the two types of car to this queue or this queue. So this is the question we studied. Okay. So this is different from the traditional queuing model, queuing theory. And this is the step matching problem. We are still working. And the other one is decentralized the pricing and the matching of on-demand mobility services. And we're still also working on this one. Okay, maybe I give a brief introduction to the decentralized pricing and the matching. Under the current platform operations, basically the platforms determine everything. All right, they determine the price. They assign the order to the drivers. Passenger just passively reject service, right? What they feel announced by the platform. Okay, you just have such first. Either accept or reject the offer. And drivers also just either accept the order assignment or not. But if you make a committed rejection, you may measure in some penalty. Next time the platform knows to give you priority to send order to you. So this causes some problem. Basically, the platform determines everything. On this decentralized pricing and matching. So what requires passenger, drivers, and the platform, okay, are decision makers. They all get involved in the decision making process. How to do it? Suppose I'm a passenger. I send a ride request to the platform. I tell the platform the maximum price I'm willing to pay. Okay, refer my maximum willing to pay, say $100. Then the platform will broadcast this ride information, to the nearby drivers. We have the matching radio, okay? Suppose we have 2, 3 idle vehicles. Then the driver should feed this, okay? my weather request B. And the price you are willing to charge. Then the platform will send the bidding information to the passenger make a choice. Okay, so this is actually a negotiated price, right? So both party and the ground accept it. We don't have a water rejection problem. And we also achieve market efficiency in this case. And through such a option. I just mentioned that the passenger is willing to pay 50 Hong Kong dollars, right? Suppose we have two drivers. The closest drivers say demand, yeah, okay. 30 Hong Kong dollars, okay. If 30 Hong Kong dollars plus bidding price 30. If below 30, he will know 30, at least 30. And the second close driver maybe give a bidding price 35 Hong Kong dollars, okay. And to cover that is the minimum cost. Then, of course, the bidding will go to the first drivers because the first driver, okay, of course, doesn't bid the order. Of course, they wanted to make a little more profit to increase the bidding price, maybe up to 35. And his bidding price, max bidding price just maybe 35. Because if you continue to increase your bidding price higher than 35, then the second closest driver we get the bid, right? Because he's willing to bid is 35. So this means the bidding price, the final bidding price will be the second lowest bidding price, okay, but go to the first driver. So this means just like a second auction theory, the price doesn't really go up too much. So even you are willing to pay 50 Hong Kong dollars, but the final successful transaction price, okay, just 35. And the order go to the closest driver, so we can achieve the efficiency, reduce pickup time. I'm not sure whether I make that is clear. Clear already. Any question? The first driver to close the driver, get the right, bid the right? But at the second lowest price. Okay, so basically I finished the research topics we have done. And if you are interested in this problem, we have this model graph just published 2 years ago. And okay. And we also developed this simulator. And we connect the movement of I don't know why they did change. Okay, and because for the on-demand mobility market, we have movement of different type of vehicle, idle vehicle, occupied vehicle. They are moving in different color. So we have the real-time market information, the percentage of car under delivery of passenger, and the percentage of car on the way of pickup, and the percentage of car idle, okay? And we also have the hourly market metric update as your simulation continues. And we also have this is the microscopic view. We have the macroscopic. This is for the vehicle under the way of carrying passenger. And this is pickup car. Go to pick up passenger the moment. Okay. And also what the demand distribution and this idle vehicle movement. So this is our simulation platform. Thank you.
So we have some time for questions. So I have one about the slide 20, about the one that in demand is high, there's an extra surcharge.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, so yes, my understanding is that when there is a high demand, the platform is charging an additional top up, which is like $20. It goes to a credit account and they can use it later.
Yeah.
Possibly. So I think I'm a rational person,
Uh-huh.
and I think every rational person will pay that $20 if they know that in future they're gonna use it as a reward. So I'm not sure if that extra $20 has any effect on curbing the demand. It's not the actual money. It's actual money, but with the promise that we are gonna use it next time in that situation.
But
So
because
if it's 20 or
Yeah.
50 or 100, I will pay.
during the peak hour, okay, because the capacity is fully utilized, the demand is too high, right?
So the surge pricing, the normal surge price, I understand, because I'm losing as a passenger, I'm losing $20. $30,
Yeah,
definitely less passenger will opt in.
this one.
This one is an
This
imaginary.
one, I just wanted to keep the deposit to continue to use my deposit during our peak hour. So basically, because anyway, the maximum demand I can serve in the peak hour. Because my capacity fully used from the car. But we can both the demand during our peak hour. Because only when you continue to use my services, or you can get better money. So I can serve more passengers. This is I have, I can boost my demand during the our peak hour to increase my car utilization, our platform, okay, car utilization rate and also effective volume.
My question's related to that. Does that mean that the only people who would pay that are ones who are richer and use the platform more? Like the only people who would say no to that are ones who can't afford to be out of pocket for a day.
Yeah, that's a question, and of course, but maybe I want to spend trip again in Russia, don't want to make something urgent, I can read, and or maybe some rich people are going to pay more. But we should understand, the private platform, they do business, their objective is to increase the income. And this is a rational or, how to say, acceptable way, right? to the business, you see such a business running, right? I didn't really actually charge the passengers.
I mean, there's also a certainty issue with that, right? So if you're a traveler, you're not gonna be there the next day, you're losing the $20. But it's also, you might not be committed to the platform, this might be a rare thing, and then you're not getting $20 back, you're getting the discounted version of $20 back at some future time. Uncertain when you're gonna use it.
Yeah.
So, it's an interesting problem as to how people will perceive that.
Yeah.
I guess it's buying system loyalty because you have $20 in credit on this platform, and it also depends on what the other platforms are doing. So normally as a user, I will look at DB and Uber here before I make a decision as to which one to use. If I'm going with my wife, she will look at Uber and DB as well. So we'll have 4 prices in front of us because my Uber price isn't the same as hers and my DB price isn't the same as hers because she's a more frequent user. So I get a lower rate usually. And I think that's a little bit the feature of these systems is they're exploiting their best users. And I think if they thought they could, I guess they think they can get away with it, but I'm not sure that they can. I mean, there's people who know this, and surely this is going to get around that, everyone should, if you go with multiple people, everyone should check the price and then someone will.
So both DB and Uber had that issue?
Yeah.
Okay.
DB more so, but DB is usually the lower price, but DB more so.
Yeah, I tried the DB, I work for here,
Yeah.
DB basically negotiate the price, the initial, very low charge compared with Uber, then you have to increase your charge to get a matching. Okay, but the problem actually, we have HKUST, our university and the DB further research laboratory, and I worked with the DB for 100 years, and we made this proposal to DB, and we actually tried, but it's both just real try okay, we went through all the process, but just when we want to read the real trial, but we had the COVID-19 and some other problem was solved.
But did he eventually test this idea?
For the similar, they have the, just like an airline, you have the diamond membership. Right, same silver membership fee, something like that, accumulate your point. Okay, but from that, even just one platform, okay, adopt this scheme, rewarding present rewarding scheme. The other platform will do the same way, then it will lose your effectiveness.
Yeah.
So we have a question by David Pincher on Zoom. It says, it looks like all vehicles are of the same size, with capacity, passenger capacity. What impact does the type of vehicle have on frequencies? So the vehicle type of probably SUV, a small size, super black, and the preference of the passengers.
You mean the size of the vehicle, you mean?
I think so. The question is,
This one, you mean the size, the vehicle size?
and also I think probably the quality of the car under X versus.
Okay. This is just a representative situation, actually, but in real problem is much more complicated. Like TD, basically we have two major types of service. One is core, express car, just a normal car. The other one is a luxury car for business, okay? But I didn't consider, I just consider partially occupied and or fully idle. But you have the business one and the normal one. And also, we have, one like remote passengers. And of course, much more complicated, right? So I think we need to restrict concepts, in a restricted situation here.
So in one of your slides, which was about the waiting time, the sound time, you said that you have access to real data. So they start waiting and then after 10 minutes, the wait time is updated.
Yeah.
I think it was a slide. I think you should go the other way.
Oh, I think it,
Yeah.
this, no, I think it's before this one.
No, I think you're going backward. It should be 25, 26 or 30 minutes like on there.
No, here, no,
No.
just wait, we need to wait, here.
Yeah, this one. You said that you have access to real data of the behavior of customers.
Yeah.
So what was the outcome? Did you mention the outcome? I missed that, or so what was the findings from this one?
Actually, we, during our collaboration with DB, I sent my students to DB for internship. We get access to the data, and we have the real data to the analysis. But the paper is still not yet published. We sent it to IOTB journal. I'm sure it's the most report for some UTB journals, and still on the second or third one the revision. So question, what's the question then?
So what was the finding?
Finding.
In this case,
Finding, okay.
did they wait or leave or?
Of course, this is because individual passenger, different passenger have different preferences. We wanted to look at the major factors that influence, passenger's decision, and then including the attribute of the passenger themselves. Then we look at that. So we don't have a general conclusion that it depends on the external factor, depends on your attributes and your preferences. Yeah. So one or two. Yeah, that's it.
Next question.
So as you one slide is that, so one column is the custom, another column is the taxes. So it's you named it multi-party, but in my mind it's still a bipartite problem because yeah, this one. So left is custom, right one is the taxi. So there are only two groups. Even for the left group custom, you have different colors. It means there are different type of customers, but the different type only their attributes. But you only have two groups, so it's a classical bipartite problem. It's not multi-party.
It's a bipartite matching problem.
Yeah.
We just have, for each side, we have a multiple party involved.
Yeah,
So the problem becomes more complicated.
Yeah.
And in terms of the size of the problem, and when you have, and maybe additional constraint, like we have a maximum pickup distance, right? And maybe the reduction, we can have accept maybe to even more passengers for reduction, So this look really just a standard bipartisan matching. This standard bipartisan matching, that's 1-1. All right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point.
Okay, so let's start applying them. Thank you, and thank you all.
So, yeah, you're welcome to visit Hong Kong. Hong Kong University of Science and Technology.
Has anyone been to HKUST? Have you seen their campus?